So Spain just had part of a longstanding, like the biggest wave of a longstanding invasion of like 50,000 people over the course of just hours from Morocco. And this, in the days following, it became really clear that this was not organic at all, that the Israeli government and the U.S. government, well, obviously knew this was happening, and basically both governments were using mass migration as a weapon against a government that they don't like for various reasons, mostly because it's anti-Israel. And people were shocked to discover this. Were you shocked to discover that?
Again, kinda. I shouldn't be at this point, but yeah, kinda. I still am always shocked. I guess it's a good thing. I always look at it as a good thing. The fact that I'm still capable of being shocked.
It's just exactly the opposite of what we've been told. It's a pretty clear story that they've been telling, propagandists in this country have been telling for the last, 10 years at least, really since 9/11, that we have to support Israel because they are the bulwark against the defense against what we just saw happen in Spain. Like, we're going to get overtaken by the Muslims unless we support Israel. And here you have Israel supporting an invasion of a Western European country by Muslims, which I think has been, sort of ongoing for generations now. Like, they've been doing this for a long time. But most Americans kind of think we're on the same side. Like, we don't want to be invaded by the Muslims, and the Europeans don't, and the Israelis are our ally in that, but they're not.
Yeah, one of the worst aspects of, look, Christian civilization and Islamic civilization are different things with their own geographic spheres, and it's definitely a situation, I think, where, what do they say? Strong fences make for good neighbors, kind of thing, right? We should have our own spheres, and I think it would be deleterious for any European Christian country to acquire a Muslim population past a certain threshold where it becomes a culturally separate thing. That's something that's not necessarily specific to Christianity, and Islam is just two different groups. And so I'm not in favor of that kind of stuff, and I do see the problems with the migrations. But one of the saddest things and grossest things that really has come out of just the last couple of years of the recent things going on since Gaza. It's, when you look back on it, it's been going back. It's gone back further than that, but it's really intensified. Where as Israel has lost support, they have really, really, they've lessened the propaganda that comes from the direction of sort of justifying and explaining and building up support for what they're doing, and directed it instead toward just building up more and more hatred of Muslims and Islam in general. You see this from people like Laura Loomer and other types who their whole thing is just, we need to get Christians to hate Muslims, because if they do that, then their enemies are our enemies, and we don't have to think past that. And that's very unfortunate.
Yeah, I never thought I would be the defender of Muslims. It never occurred to me, since I'm not a Muslim and I'm not going to become a Muslim.
Yeah.
But it's been so gross and obvious and anti-human that, like, at some point you have to be like, I don't know.
When it comes back to, the universal values you were talking about, there are certain things that apply no matter who is standing across from you.
Exactly.
And if you believe that, then, a lot of this comes down to just personal experience too. I spent a lot of time in the Middle East. I've known a lot of the Muslim community down in like the South LA, Orange County area. And after a while, once the mystification, the fog sort of starts to part, you realize, there are differences for sure, cultural differences and things, but they're just people. Well, and totally. I think most Americans have very little, if any, experience with
I feel
Muslims.
That way about Jews or Baha'is or any, I don't know that hate all Muslims. I don't know why that's better than hate all Jews. I just don't. It's the same to me.
Of course. Yeah. Of course it is the same. Obviously it is the same.